Watauga Arts Council with your host, Cherry Johnson, serving arts in Watauga County for more than 30 years.
Hi, I'm Cherry Johnson with Watauga County Arts Council, and I have with me Sherone Price. Now, Sherone is a professor at the university, but I also consider him a community person because you've been around a while.
I have.
When did you come to Boone?
I came here in 2008.
So you've been around, was that 7 years?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, eight. It's
8
more
years.
like 8
okay.
years, yeah.
So you've become a big part of our community
Yes,
in
ma'am.
a lot of ways. Now, you teach dance
I do teach
at the
dance.
university.
Mhm.
And you and I, before we started this interview, we were talking about teaching. You teach African dance?
I teach West African dance, modern, and jazz at the university.
Okay.
And I teach dance history as well as silent form dance classes.
Okay, now how much does Sherone get to perform?
Sherone probably doesn't really want to perform that much, but I mean, I get a chance to do some sometime, you know, and we've had other things here at the university that would, you know, allow for our teachers to do more performing. But most of the time, you know, I enjoy teaching and choreographing.
And so you're actually very active, though, I'm sure, when you're
I'm very active doing
Yeah.
that. I teach at the American Dance Festival, which is happening down at Duke University. I do it every summer. I've been going there since 1978, and I've been teaching it since 1993. And I go every summer, and I get a chance to do a lot of teaching students from all over the world at the American Dance Festival.
That's neat.
So if you're out there and you want to come take some dance classes down at Duke, come take some down there. It's a wonderful event.
But they can try you out here.
They can try me out here.
That's what we're here to
Yes,
talk
ma'am,
about.
that's exactly.
But I'm curious about Sherone. Before we go there on how you can try Sherone out, I'm curious. You chose to be a dance professor. Why did you choose to be a dance professor?
I was a football player years ago, and in high school, and somebody told me I'd injured both of my ankles, and they said, "Sherone, you should take a dance class." And I took a dance class to rehabilitate my ankle.
Really?
And really found a love for it.
Huh.
You know, and so, and there are a lot of athletes in the world today that are using dance as a way of getting their bodies to the place that they really want them to be flexible and, you know, and the stability and, you know, in their bodies. And so it's the reason why I started dancing.
That's interesting. I've never
And
heard
it's
anybody
also
say
a very
that. Okay.
creative way to express oneself, you know, and I've always wanted to do that. I was always one of those kind of people who would always learn all the social dances, and then, you know, and it was a good way to show some of those social dances as well too. And so even now, with hip hop being a big thing that people are doing now, it gets a chance to involve more boys into dance than there usually was.
You know, that I hear that a lot in music too, about this emphasis on involving more boys. I think boys tend to back out of stuff like that.
Exactly.
And so this gives them an okay way to be into it.
Right.
You know.
That men have been dancing for centuries. You know,
Yeah,
and so why is
absolutely.
it now that men feel like men shouldn't dance? You know, it's like we love to dance. You know, and so I think it's a great way for as exercise, fitness. You know, and I would say that I make sure that I teach my classes in that way. You know, that
That's
it's very
cool.
physical and it's very artistic. And that that I like people smiling and enjoying.
Well, I
classes.
was going to say, how much of would you say your class is fun versus hard work?
I think it's both. You know, I think I like to make people laugh while they're taking class. You know, and sometimes we laugh at ourselves. You know, maybe we laugh at the way we're moving. You know, and sometimes we don't know the way we're moving. You know, and so I think it's a way of, you know, really connecting to your body, but not trying to compare your body with other people at the same time while taking a class. So, you know, the music playing, the music sounds great. You know, I have a buddy of mine who's coming up from the Greensboro area, Wesley Williams, and he's going to be playing drums with me with his 2-year-old. Well, actually, 3-year-old now.
cool.
You know, and so and other guys from the music, Sean Roberts, and other people from the community, Jeff Dickerson, you know, and so it's great to be able to have all these other musicians come out and play. And if you're a musician and you're interested in playing African rhythms, you know, please come out to it as well too.
That's
you
cool.
know. So I was just telling Miss Cherry earlier that when I was teaching down in the Atlanta area, that it was a whole community thing where, Dad would come up and drum and dance, and, and Mom and the kids would actually be in a dance classroom, where it was divided, that the young people were in the front, the less advanced people in the middle, and then the advanced people at the end. And it was just this constant up and down the floor, people enjoying themselves, and food, to be sold afterwards and everything. So it can be a very a rewarding situation and community connecting situation.
Exactly, it's a whole community event, not
Exactly.
just what it looks like on the surface. That's really cool. Now, what's coming up? You have a chance to try Sherone out. You're going to actually lead off a program this summer because you're the first one doing
Exactly.
it. It's called Summer Dance Series, and you and I were saying that we really ought to think about that name because it sounds like a series of performances.
Right, exactly.
But it's not.
Right.
It's a series of opportunities.
Exactly.
And I think that's really neat. I just counted up, there's 12 of them. So 12 different chances to get into dance. And I was, he and I did radio before we came over here. And I told him on the radio, I said, I'm one of those people that never really had any particular training or abilities in dance, never opportunities to do any dance. So there's a certain amount of inhibition, just because of lack of experience.
Exactly.
So this sounds like a fantastic chance to kind of go try out some things that you've always heard about or you've always wanted to try. And then if it really takes, hey, you can go get more involved in it.
Exactly.
But and this is a free opportunity you're offering to the community.
Yes, ma'am. We ask for donations, and our donations themselves actually go towards scholarship funds for our students at ASU in the theater dance program. Also, it also helps for guest artists, bringing guest artists into our program as well too. And so, and if you're out there and you like to contribute towards a scholarship at all for the theater and dance program, we'd love to have you do that. We're still looking for we have some great students who come out and want to be dance majors, and and sometimes having the right funding is really important for students to go to college. So please help us out.
Okay. Now, the way that you're going to help this community out is with these opportunities. Let's talk about those 12 things coming up. First one is coming up on June the 2nd, and you have a chance to try out African dance with Sherone. And you just mentioned that you're going to have some drummers. So is this live music? This is
live music. It is. So we call it a marriage between music and dance because it's to have tape recorded music we call it canned music sometime, it's not the same. It doesn't give you the same kind of effect, and so when you have live musicians playing for you as you're moving across the floor, it just gives you just a warm feeling. It makes that connection with you and the musician. You listen to what they're playing and in reaction to what you're doing.
I can imagine it's much more fun to dance to live music than it is to dance to canned music.
Much more.
And so this is happening on June the 2nd at 5:30, and it's at Varsity Gym.
That's correct. 208 Varsity Gym.
Okay, yeah. And the directions to get to room 208, in case you're not sure, are on their website, which is being posted at theater.dance.edu.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right? And so you're going to offer the first venture into this, but then the next day, musical theater dance with Ray Miller. Do you know much about that?
I do. Ray Miller is actually in our department. She's in the theater dance program. He does lots of things around ASU, but he is a jazz person, jazz dance person, does tapping and musical theater kind of choreography and stuff like that. He's coming from the Georgia area. He's great, a lot of energy. You will have fun with Ray Miller's class.
That sounds interesting. And then you've got ballet with Sayward Grindley.
Sayward actually just started her own studio here in the Boone area as well too, and so she has a dance company, but she's also one of our adjuncts professor at the university, and so she's really pushing ballet to the boundaries and trying to get it out to education with students and everything in middle school, high school, probably elementary and middle school, high school areas, and also professional dancers as well too.
That's cool. So she's going to kind of introduce you to ballet, I guess.
Well, she can do a little bit both, introduce them. She's actually danced with the Sarasota Ballet, so she's done it professionally. Did her, her She just finished a master's degree program as well too. So,
but it's okay not to already have a background.
Exactly,
In ballet.
exactly.
Because that's my point.
Exactly.
Is you make sure that those who have not had that opportunity
Right.
would still feel welcomed. So,
Exactly.
Yeah. Now the next week you kind of get a little bit more fun thrown in there. Hip hop. Well, not that the others aren't, but hip hop with Joshua Carr.
Josh is one of our students who's taken a lot of dance classes in the department. He's a hip hop dancer. Actually, he's a dancer, period. He's a dancer at heart. He loves dance of any kind, in form, and will take classes, and he just got back from LA, and he's now back here, and he's finishing up his, doing some other work with his education, but he's going to be, he teaches an incredible hip hop class. You will enjoy it. He will make you laugh and have fun all through his classes.
Hip hop seems very popular.
Very popular in this area now.
So now then one that sounds really cool, jazz with Susan Lutz.
Susan Lutz has been teaching jazz in our program a long time. She's an excellent teacher, very clear with her technique, very energetic, and and just loves to have fun with jazz dance. So
That's
I think
neat.
you enjoy class.
And then Pilates. This one threw me. Pilates with the Pilates teacher training. Tell me about Pilates and dance.
Pilates it's fallen in the somatics area, where it's about tending to the body and trainings for the body. And so the students are, there's a Pilates class at the university that there's a mat class, and as well as a Pilates equipment class. A lot of times, I like to introduce it to my football players. I say, guys, you need to go in here and work out because we got all these, these equipment. They look at it like a torture chamber. I said, no, it's not that at all. Because if you're on the other end where our dance office is, the only thing that you ever hear that's coming out of that room is all laughter. People in there and they're exercising. It's the equipment is actually helping you with your range of motion and stretch and flexibility, and strengthening stretch and flexibility with your bodies. So it's really a wonderful way of getting the body to the place that you want it to be, toning your body the way you want it to be.
So it's
toned.
not moaning and groaning at all.
No, it's not at all. It's not at all.
Okay, now the following week they even throw it even further out there somewhere. Hula hoop. That is a really cool one with Barbara Roberts.
I've seen them out on the lawn at ASU, and it's been great to be watching them. Everybody has a hula hoop in there, just moving and hulaing, and so it's really great to see it. They've used some of our spaces over in Varsity Gym as well to have the hula when it's not so warm outside, but I think it's a great way of exercise. I think it's a great way of, seeing what people can actually do with the hula hoop, doing double hula hoops or triple hula hoops, I think it's just a lot of fun, and I think it's geared towards people of all different ages.
Now, do you know if you bring your own hula hoop or do they have
I
them?
don't know. That'd be a good question.
Okay.
I would think that she may bring hula hoops,
Yeah.
As I said, there's a hula hoop club on campus as well too. So I think they probably would have lots of hula hoops that be available for community people to be able to do. If not, go get you a hula hoop.
As well, and if you're like me, and I never could get one hula hoop going, let alone two or three.
Right.
So would this be something I would feel comfortable going
Oh,
to?
yes, ma'am. I think you would love it. Yeah.
They might actually get me over the hump.
It gets you moving those hips, and so I think that's really nice to see, using the hip and everything, to try to do the movements. I think it's very interesting to do.
That's cool. And then Samba, that sounds like such fun, with Dave Birchfield is on that Wednesday.
Right.
Followed by Hip Hop with EC.
Right.
EC is a student.
He's a student. He's a coming up student this year at ASU, and good hip hop teacher. Really want to get out there to the community, doing lots of teaching at different places in different dance studios here in the Boone area.
Now, hip hop is a hot trend, but so is swing dance.
Right.
Swing dance has really taken off lately. There's a swing dance club I know at the university.
Exactly.
They came to our last Artful Palette, and the finale of our Artful Palette was the swing band, which Steve Frank is involved with, and the swing dance club got out and did their stuff, and then the audience got into it and everybody was swing dancing.
Right.
And so this is a swing dance class with Kayla Zimmerman.
Right.
So it's a great chance if, like one of the guys brought me out on the floor of the swing dance. Fortunately, he was good and I could follow him. But I'd love to learn more about swing dance. So that's a good opportunity isn't it, to go and get into that.
the club itself usually offers some classes during the school year as well
Yeah.
too, where you can come in and before the actual swing dance class itself happens, that a preliminary thing that happens to show you some of the techniques and educate you better on what some of the movements are before they actually go into like the actual
So you have more
dance
confidence.
party kind
Yeah,
of thing to it.
That's the fun thing about it.
Learn
And
the
then
technique.
now we're talking something much more, I think, more serious, modern with Emily Daughtry.
Right.
And that's a different style entirely.
Right.
And then finale of this whole thing is ballet with Regina James.
Right.
And so now
both colleagues of mine at
Right.
ASU, good teachers. I think students will they work from little kids to older people, and Emily also teaches yoga as well too. And so they both have worked. Regina's done a lot of stuff with the beginning students in ballet. She trains them so well. Emily has taught Modern 1, Modern 2, Modern 3, Modern 4 at the university. A good colleague. So you can't go wrong with any of the classes.
Now these are starting on June the 2nd and going through June the 25th, and it's every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Exactly.
And they all start at 5:30, and
Exactly.
they're all in the same room at Varsity Gym,
Right.
so you can always find your way.
Right.
And you can call the university at 264-3028 and get some information,
Right.
because we've run through it fairly quickly.
Exactly.
But I think this is what strikes me about this is, and it struck me that I didn't know about this before now, and it's been going for what, 7 or 8 years.
It's been going for since 2007.
So that's several years
Yes,
of this. So this is an opportunity, though, for folks to come in and not make a commitment to taking a big class in dance and getting involved in several weeks of something. It's a sampler almost.
Exactly.
Go in and try it out, see what you want to do, and then you can pursue whatever you want to do.
There will be people of all different ages in the classroom. We say that the Wednesday at 5:30 is probably geared towards people who've had some dance training. So it's going to probably be a little bit more of an advanced class, but the Tuesdays and Thursday classes are geared towards everyone. The way Miss Regina James has actually set the classes up, she set them up as stars in the classes, meaning that there's a 1-star class, which is probably more geared towards beginning. There's a 2-star class, which is probably geared towards people in intermediate level, and then a 3-star class, which is on the Wednesday, which is more geared towards people who are more advanced technique.
That's cool. Now, what was I getting ready to say about this? It's for children 10 and up can also come. So it's a great family opportunity.
Exactly.
For mom, dad, and a couple of kids to come and dance together,
right,
and work together on something. So I think that's a really neat thing too. I can also imagine groups of folks that are friends getting together and saying, "Well, let's go do this together."
Exactly.
So it's a great thing. You and I were talking about the because we're in a smaller community, even though it feels like a very busy community, that there aren't always opportunities to do all of these kinds of dances. Like you can't go to a club and do samba just
right.
any night of the week.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but there are some opportunities to take these things further. Now, tell me a little bit about that. You mentioned before we started the interview about that there were some opportunities on campus that people could get involved with.
They're the clubs that are on campus that also open themselves up to community people coming in and take classes as well too. There's a diversity festival that happens every spring semester that also includes a lot of the teaching of different dance styles and stuff like that, and getting a chance to be able to hear music and dance and everything else, and so but there are lots of opportunities for people to be able to reconnect to ASU. We want to say that we're a whole community here in the Watauga area that that everyone gets a chance to see what's happening on ASU's campus, whether or not if they're coming to some of the series that happens over at the Schaefer Center. There's all kinds of dance coming here. The David Parsons Dance Company is coming here to perform this summer. And so please take a look out and see what all are happening. Incredible companies that are coming here to ASU. And it's not just ASU. It is the Watauga area, and we hope that people will come out for all the different events.
All through the year, ever so often, I'm helping tell people about dance performances that are coming. This is an unusual twist for a dance opportunity, but I'm imagining, this is just me imagining, that if I've tried some of these, then when I go see that performance, it's going to mean so much more to me.
Exactly.
To have seen it.
A nice education, education to dance. We, like I said, we teach a class, it's called Style Informed Dance class at ASU, which is a class that gears. It's a gen ed course which actually gives students a chance to look at the arts, whether or not it's style-informed theater, style-informed dance, music, philosophy, all these different things to be able to give people a different education on different things that they never thought about before or not thought about wanting to view or be involved in. But I think it's something to really give our kids, a hidden knowledge.
Now, some of the barriers that people would have in participating in something like this, let's talk about a couple of those.
Sure.
One of them is the campus as a whole is a little bit overwhelming to those of us that are not on campus daily. So Varsity Gym is an old building. Most everyone knows where a Varsity Gym is. If you're going to go to Varsity Gym, where would you suggest that we park and go to it? It's at 5:30, so I'm assuming that's after the parking regimen. You can park easily at that point in time. Where should people try to park?
I would say park in the parking garage, because the parking garage is right across the street from the Varsity Gym. And there's a walk across, that you can do right in front of the cafeteria there and walk down there, and then you can walk straight in, go straight over to Varsity Gym.
So
I think that's the easiest way to go, and that way you're not dealing with trying to cross 4 lanes or 5 lanes of traffic. So that's the safest way to do it. But as you said, the parking lots are open at that time.
Right.
I'm not sure about parking itself on campus and stuff like that during that time period, whether or not if you still have to have a permit or whatever to be able to be on campus.
In this community, no matter whether you're talking downtown or you're talking university or wherever, that's often the question that people deal with.
True.
The other thing I think would be a question for folks is, what do I wear? What do you wear?
Relaxed clothing, clothing that feels relaxed for your body. Usually in ballet class, we say leotards and tights, but we don't say that to everyone because everyone doesn't know to wear leotards and tights for ballet class, but something comfortable to take class in, something that you can move, something that the teachers can see what's happening with your body, and not too, you don't want clothing that's too baggy, that we can't see what's going on in your body.
Or that gets in your way.
Yes, right. Hip hop plays very differently with that because usually hip hop goes with baggy clothes. African dance, I usually say wear something like, and I know people no one ever really has it, a wrap skirt, and some people sometimes have nice African fabric with wrap skirts and stuff like that. I ask for that sometime in my classroom because I feel that it gets people more connected to Africa by wearing something that looks African as well.
I think you should just have an assortment of fabrics and people can wrap themselves up right there.
I might do that.
I think it's a good way to do it.
I do have lots of fabrics like that, and I may just bring them to class and just have people have not only just have an African experience with just taking the class, but also have a color thing going on.
Absolutely.
Which
put you in the spirit.
Yes.
I think that'd be fun. So this is something that you just kind of go chill out and relax and enjoy it. It's not something that you have to go buy equipment for, go buy materials for, go do something special in advance.
Right.
It's just go do it.
And please don't say, well, I'm gonna do this whenever I lose a couple weights, a little bit more weight. Don't let that ever stop you from taking a dance class. People are, it's really about you personally coming in and enjoying other people. It's not about your body looking like somebody else's body because all our bodies are very, very different and all our bodies are changing, and so it's really about you coming in and coming in as a community person and getting a chance to meet other people that you probably would not meet in a normal setting.
It's also a great chance to get some exercise if you want to lose a little weight.
Exactly.
Because in a fun way, where you're not just counting repetitions.
Right.
You're doing something that gets you in the spirit of it.
And I think this is a whole community of Zumba too. Zumba is a big thing in this community as well too. And so if you can find different Zumba classes that are happening in the area, please take them. Yoga classes, the yoga studio, neighborhood yoga studio, and even different places around ASU,
cool.
ASU as well as Boone community.
That's neat. Theater and dance are two things that are a little. Some people are a little removed from those particular art forms. You know, they're more inclined to pick up an instrument or a paintbrush than they are to get involved in something like this. But that shouldn't be a barrier, because it's something anybody can go participate in. And I would imagine, now I'm going out on a limb here, I would imagine that even if someone has some disability of some sort, that you would find a way to help them participate in that art form, you know, if they would like to do that.
Right.
So it's something that's open to anyone.
We do. In fact, this year I will probably have a student who is a disabled student who's actually coming to take my my African or my jazz class, you know.
Cool.
And so we invite people to come to class, you know, and you know, it's not, you know, it is an experience for everyone in the classroom, and an experience for us too, you know, because part of our teaching is making sure that when we can go into other settings and teach a different group of people, you know, different disabilities, you know, and have them interested in dance. When I was working on a degree at UNCG was actually in dance education, you know. In dance education, you got to learn to teach multiple populations, you know, and so you're going to get that a lot. We'll get that a lot.
I think one of the most powerful performances I've ever seen was a dance troupe, I think we were ballet, that was in wheelchairs.
Right.
And they're fascinating because these people, they're in the spirit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it just shows, you know, so it's really cool. But, well, I encourage you to get involved. This is a great chance to dabble your toe in the water and kind of just check it all out. And then, like I said earlier, it also will make all those performances we'll be telling you about all through next fall and into the spring, make them more meaningful to you too, because you kind of know a little bit more about what's going on up there, you know, so it's a little more fun to watch when you know something about it. So. Sherone, thank you so much for coming and bringing this to my attention.
Sure.
You know, it's the first time I'd heard about it, so I'm really excited that this is an opportunity that we can tell folks about, a chance for people to get involved in the arts. That's what it's all about.
Yes, we've had lots of help trying to get it out to media, so make sure you take a look at it. You know, I thank all those people who have helped so much about getting this out on the website, you know, because it's really important that we get it out to the community. It is about you.
That's great. Well, thank you so much. And check our website also, watauga-arts.org, for information that will take you to this and a lot more.
Watauga Arts Council with your host, Cherry Johnson, serving arts in Watauga County for more than 30 years.